so gorgeous. Just like this cocoa core pole. The next one is my Florida Beauties.
Mama.
Oh yeah, thank you, Oliver. Oh, I just see another one. Oh, so satisfying. Hey there, welcome to a new video. For today's video I want to get some repots done. I do have quite some repots that I kind of want to do. I mostly like to do my repots like in the spring and summer, and like sometimes I do still do some repots in autumn and winter. But spring is my preferable time to do the repots. I have made a list with all of the plants that I do want to repot. It's already quite a list that I have. I think there are 13 on here, and I think there are definitely more that are going onto the list. But I've been kind of thinking to myself which one has like the biggest priority and then going to like the least priority. They do all need to kind of be repotted, but some are just desperately needed. And yeah, this is one of them, my variegated Alocasia deck. It is currently looking a little bit sad. There are like a lot of droopy leaves on here, but still it's like, oh, this plant is so gorgeous. Really beautiful variegation, and yeah, as you can see, it's like in this spot still, and it's like it has dropped over a couple times already, and there are now just a lot of the roots that are just not covered in any substrate. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to repot this one. I must say that if I look in the pot, it doesn't look like super rooted, and it are like a lot of really fine, delicate looking roots. But yeah, this definitely could use like an upsize, and I think it would really appreciate it, because the new leaves that it grew also grew like smaller than the previous ones. Even though it's now like receiving more light and those kind of things. So yeah, I think it will really love a repot. I also do want to chop off some leaves, because there are quite some leaves which are starting to yellow. It also has a flower which I wanted to chop off like 3 weeks ago or something. So yeah, I think I first do the repot and then do like the chop. And one thing which I'm really curious about, if there are any corms in the soil. I kind of don't want to mess with the root system. So I think I would just do it really gently. I haven't watered this plant in 3 days or something. So I was kind of hoping that the substrate was so dry that it would just fall off the roots, but I do notice that it's still like a little bit damp. So yeah, we will see how that goes. And yeah, I do hope for some corms. I do see one little offshoot from one plant, but definitely no corms on the side. So yeah, the first thing, I will get this one out of here and see how it looks. So here's a little bit of a look for the root system. Oh, oops, the top was a little bit dry. Oh, I do see more offshoots. I'm really wondering what I should do, because I would love to have some baby fishes, especially from this one. But at the same time, I'm feeling like if I'm going to mess with this root system, it will probably not be that happy about it. There are a couple of sheets that I do want to get rid of. Oh, I'm really not sure. This one is so compacted. Yeah, I think I'm really not going to mess with the root system. It doesn't sit right with me to do it, even though I really would love to search for some corms. But I think if there would be like a lot of corms in here, then oh, I broke a root. Oh, that's sad. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with this root ball. I'm just gonna place it in a bigger pot, and then we'll see. You also can see corms at the bottom, Because I also feel like with Alocasias, if you do mess with the root system, they don't really appreciate that. Like, especially the Variegated, I think that one is just really, really finicky with messing with the roots. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to immediately place it in a bigger pot. So this morning I just made a new batch of my aeroid mix. Oh, it's pretty heavy. So I'm just gonna put a little layer at the bottom. Like so. I think that's enough. Yeah, I think this will be fine. So yeah, it will be a really like a quick repot. And the other thing which was also with this one, because I said like it dropped over a couple times just because it was getting so like top heavy. I think there are 3 plants in here. I just started with one, but yeah, it already produced a lot of offshoots. I think it will be really, really happy about the sweet parts. I do have another variegated Variegated. That one is like way older than this one, but this it's now just back to a stump, and it did have 1 corm, so I do have those 2 in the pot box, and I really hope they will like grow. It kind of does look that it does something. So yeah, I'm really curious also about how that one is going to grow. That one is like more highly variegated than this one is. And so one more little scoop. I think I don't have my snipper thingy over here. I think it's still upstairs. Oh. So this feels way better, way more sturdy than the previous pot I was in. I still like, I think I could even maybe place it even deeper, like not adding that big of a layer that I just did, but still it is very stable now, so it won't top over again. Oh, it's really, really pretty. Recently I also accidentally overwatered this one, which was really sad because like you can see it over here on this leaf, a little bit of browning. I think that's really from the overwatering that I did. It's just with variegated plants, so those are so sensitive for being overwatered. The Variegated already done. I have been thinking about which leaves I'm going to cut because some of them aren't like super yellow. Like here is one. Can I show it? Yeah, this one. This is pretty yellow, and yeah, this one too. But there are some which don't have like a crazy amount of yellowing, so I think I maybe will keep those ones on here. Like for example, this one, it doesn't have that much yellowing. And I think this is also one from the plant which produced a flower, and it is working on a new leaf. And yeah, I do feel with the Variegated, if it's like growing like new leaves, then the older ones can like droop down a little bit, and once the new leaf is hardened off, then the older leaf just works back up. So yeah, I am going to leave those ones on, but I am going to grab my snipper thingy so I can chop them off. So I have my snipper thingy. Let me see, turn it to my side. Yeah, this one. Oh. So that's one. Yeah. Chop. Should I also chop off that one? This one I'm also going to chop off. This little one too. Was that from a new offshoot? I feel like I just chopped off a leaf which was like from a baby plant that was growing in there, and I just chopped off the growth point. Oh well. Okay, so that one. And this I'm also going to show off. I'm still doubting about this one, and this one. This one is like really droopy. But it's such a nice leaf. Okay, I do think that I'm going to keep on to these 3 leaves just to see what. Oh yeah, I forgot the flower. I want the flower. So yeah, here's the flower. I really noticed once this one was opening, it wasn't like stinking that much as like the dragon scale. I think like the dragon scale flowers really smell so bad, like ugh, really disgusting scent. But this one I haven't smelled anything, so I think that's maybe a change in how bad the flowers smell from Alocasias. So yeah, that's it for the first one, the Alocasia. This leaf is looking really. I'm going to keep it on pause as well. So yeah, that was it for the first plant. This is how it is looking now. Really curious to see how it will grow now. Like here you can see it's working on a new leaf. It also looks like it has some. No, it looks more green than variegated. So we'll see. So I am going to water this one later on. Oh yeah, it's also grew like a new leaf over there. But as you can see, it's almost hardened off and it's like way smaller than, yeah, like for example this leaf. This was really my favorite leaf. Yeah, I am going to water these ones later on. I am going to wait till these ones scatters over a little bit because I also want to give it like a good shower. I think it could also like that. I haven't had a shower for a little while. So yeah, that's it for the first one, the variegated variegated. The next plant that I do want to repot is also one which I feel is desperately in a need for it. It's a plant that I got 3 days ago at a Botanica housing event here in the Netherlands. This is the Anthurium for Sherman X hot chocolate. This is how the plant is looking, just like a small Anthurium now, but like the substrate where it's in, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like mud it feels, so it doesn't feel right for me, so I really want to get it out of there. Yeah, it's really like just mud. Really curious how the roots will look in this one. The roots do look good though. Yeah, I don't see any rot or something, so that's nice because I was a little bit scared just how muddy this soil felt. I am going to quickly rinse it with water to really get all of the soil off, so I'll be right back. So this is how this root system is looking, just a nice little root system with some nice juicy white looking healthy roots. Now I am going to see if I'm going to put it in this really small one. Yeah, I think I am going for the small one. I rather go like a little bit smaller than too big. So it's a really big chunk of bark over here. I'm just gonna do like a teeny tiny bit at the bottom. Maybe like shoe, because it also has like 2 aerial roots that still want to grow. So I kind of do want to have those one also submerged into the substrate. I think this is great, like this. Anthuriums really have become my new favorite plants to grow. I think they are so stunning. Like at the event I went like last weekend, there were also so many Anthuriums. I think like Anthuriums are really like the hype from this moment, which I understand. Like it's just, yeah, they are just so stunning, especially like the new leaves on them is just really, really gorgeous. The only thing which I do find with Anthuriums that they don't hold on to the leaves for a long time. Maybe it's still something that I do wrong, can be. But if you have like philodendrons, so I have moved a little bit further to the camera because I think I was maybe sitting a little bit too far away. Yeah, filling up this pot, but I think I was mentioning something. Oh yeah, that philodendron leaves can like keep looking pretty really long, and for me like Anthurium leaves deteriorate quite fast. So yeah, I think it's just also maybe like they're just more finicky than philodendrons, at least for in my experience. So already got a second plant done, already 2 plants that I can scrape off my repot list. So this is how it's currently looking, just in a little small container. I think it won't keep in here like for long. I think like by the end of the growing season it will probably be pretty wood bound in here. But yeah, I rather, like I said, go a little bit small than too big. So yeah, that's it for the second one. I am doubting which I should go do right now because I have some propagations from the micans variegated that I do want to pot up, but I also have an Anthurium which is highly in need for a repot. But I think, and I also see that my battery is almost empty. Like this morning I really wanted to dedicate it to just doing all of the repots, but I brought my daughter to school and like got ready and everything, set like everything off, and I took my camera and it was like 3% left in it, and I was like, I really thought that I charged it 2 days ago, but probably I didn't do it, or maybe I did it and eventually maybe kept the camera on or something. That happened sometimes before. So yeah, it was completely empty, and then I wanted to charge it, but I don't know what it is with this camera. It takes like forever for it to charge. So yeah, I think I don't really can do that much now, because we also almost need to pick our daughter up. So maybe I can do the micans quickly. Let me see how late it is. Yeah, I think I can quickly do the micans variegated because I feel like it's also really in the need for getting into a pot. So here I have 2 propagations vessels from the philodendron micans variegated. These ones would so well in water in my experience. I don't know if it really shows, but it's already like producing a lot of secondary roots. And for this one, too, if it wants to show, like a lot of secondary roots, really nice. The reason why I took cottonix from this micans is because it was reverting, and I do notice because 2 of them already grew a new leaf. Like over here is a new leaf which is not variegated, oops, but over here is a leaf which is variegated and it's like fully variegated. So yeah, really curious what it is going to do from now on. Oh, that's a little bit sad. That's a little bit annoying about these propagation vessels, if they have like this small, what's the name of it? A smaller opening. The camera overheated, so in the meanwhile I did took out all of these cuttings. But what I wanted to say, like if you have like these vessels which have like this really small opening, like especially if you keep them in there for too long, then yeah, if it starts to grow like a new growth point, then it can be really hard to get it out like in one go and not break the new growth point. But luckily it went all well, so I didn't broke anything. In the meantime, I also went ahead and peeled away some of the sheets that were on here. You can see like how good it has been rooted. Can you see that now? So yeah, I am quickly going to put these ones in here. I'm gonna put like a little layer. Yeah, I think I should put like a little layer in there. Smashing it all into the living room. Oh, that's a hair. My boyfriend went to pick up our daughter and I think they were home now. Let me see, put that one over here, like that. This one. Right there. I can move it a little bit later on, but I do see I've put one a little bit low, so that glove point is now getting buried. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that one up. And Hi, lieverd! Heb jij iets?
Had zij haar knuffie ook mee?
Nee.
Ah.
Schatje, nee, tasje. De knuffie stond er niet in, hè? Maar wel de eenhoorns. Heb jij een verrassing?
Ja.
Heb jij een verrassing? Oh. Alfabetkoekjes. Pas op ze die ook weer meegedaan.
Huh?
Wat heb jij nog meer? Stickers? Was er iemand jarig?
Ik denk het. Stickers, er zitten nog twee snoepjes in.
Weet ik.
Kikker, kwak, kwak, kwak. Kwak, kwak. Kwak, kwak, kwak.
Dat is een springkikker. Moet je
Oh,
op de,
echt?
ja, op de staart.
Oh, is net zoals dat konijntje. One thing which I can do is to just not fill it up all the way. Oh, I also see that my battery is almost going to die. Quickly fill it up. Okay, I don't need to wash myself because then things all go one. Like this. Nou, volgens mij is dat snoepje wel heel erg lekker, of niet, Lorraine? Mama was even aan het filmen. Even allemaal plantdingetjes. Okay, so I haven't filled it up like all the way. I think it can really show, but there are like 3 growth points which are like really almost buried. So I will keep it like how this is looking. So yeah, these were the repots just for today. Maybe later today I will do some repots, not sure, but I think it will be like a different moment. So yeah, I'll see you another day, another moment. Zullen we eens kijken wat dit is? Oh, stickers! Jungle stickers! Stickers! Knuffel? En je boe?
Is mama.
Oh ja, dankjewel lieverd. Ik heb mama net verpotten.
Is jouw nieuw.
Oh ja, het potje, het vaasje.
Mijn eigen.
En nog eentje, dankjewel. Zo. It's been already more than 2 months since I did these previous repots, and I must say that in the meanwhile I did some repots, but I did them off camera. But I do have 4 more plants which definitely kind of need a repot, so that's the ones that I want to go and do today. So I thought to do these ones also on camera, and let me see, my camera says I only have 4 minutes left. I think I forgot to empty my SD card. But the first plant which I really want to do for a while now is this Monstera Thai constellation. I can't really fit it in the frame, I think. It's this one. This should be like a creme brulee version, but I don't know, it's definitely not different than the one that I have upstairs. So yeah, you can see it's still like in this pretty small pot, and I have considering if I'm going to go like one size up or just maybe a little bit more, like this size up, because I think I'm definitely going to go immediately to this size. Because what it is, I do have it now in like this heavy ceramic planter. So it doesn't drop over, because like if I would put it like this, it would just immediately fall over just because of the weight that it has. So I do want to put a moss ball in here, not like a DIY moss ball, but just like this cocoa core bowl. So yeah, I think this will be better since this moss ball is cocoa core bowl is also taking up a little bit of space. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, I am gonna go for this bigger one. But I only need to have this. So I think this will be just really a quick and easy one, because I'm not gonna mess with the root system. I'm just immediately going to put it in this one. Yeah, we'll see. And the woods look all really nice. I'm also a little bit scared that it maybe will be too big of a size jump. No, I think it really needs it. So I'm gonna, I don't know, I think the camera is gonna be a little bit higher like so. So I do have this little stake in here, which I'm just gonna go and take out. First, just gonna put like a little layer on the bottom. I could maybe have put like a bigger one, but I didn't have like a taller why can I say boil? But yeah, I think it can grow definitely 2 leaves still. It's like on top. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit a little bit to the back. I think that's better. So I think I'm happy with how this is looking. Yeah, this will be fine. So I do have an aerial root over here, which I just gonna stick in there so it can fit. So yeah, now it's just a matter of filling this one up. I am going to be really careful with watering this one, because since this was like in its small pot and it was pretty rooted, I needed to water it pretty often. I think like definitely every second or third day. I think I did water it every third day. But since it's now in such a big pot, I do want to be careful with it. Okay, I quickly emptied my SD card, so I think I can film for, I don't know, it doesn't mention any minutes, so I think I have some time left to film. So I really want to make sure that this pole, I'm saying it again, pole is standing really upwards. Let me see, I really need to secure this one to there. I just made a new batch of this aeroid mix, and I thought I had enough for all these plants, but I think like everything that I had here can all go into this pot. I also do have 2 small plants that I want to repot. Maybe I will have enough for those. So what has changed? Okay, I do think I have a little piece of Velcro laying in the hallway, so I'm gonna do a quick look for that. I couldn't find my Velcro or my twine, so I have cut off a little bit from my bigger Monstera in the back. So I hope this one can get around this. Oh, this will be really tight. I think it's too... Maybe if I'm like securing it from this point. Yeah, I think this will work. See if I have enough space left to make another loop. So this was already the first one, really quick and easy. I'm really curious how it is going to grow because it's been growing a little bit weird. As you can see, like, if you look at this, like how it's growing like now, it's like growing a little bit weird, but I think it is because it's standing next to my big Monstera. So the leaves are kind of like searching for places where they aren't getting like blocked by the other Monstera, so that's why it's looking a little bit weird. But I think if I have it on this spot, then it will nicely fill that whole section out. So yeah, I am gonna give this one a good shower and watering later on. I don't feel like this one is dealing with trips because I really have like a trips infestation going on. But I don't see any signs on this one that it's happening, but it is pretty dusty. So yeah, it's really in the need for a shower. It's the first one, the Monstera Thai constellation. Oh, put it back. I'm curious if it's like still fits in this spot. Ah, it fits perfectly. That's nice. So I'm gonna put this one up. Aerial wood has come out. Hopefully that aerial wood will also create like a nice wood system. Let me see. Because I only have like this bit left. But I think the second plant that I do want to repot, I do want to use the soil which it's already in. Because they aren't in there for long. So for this one I do need my table thingy again. And the camera up a little bit higher. So for the next one is my Florida Beauties. It's been finally going back really nicely. If you've been following me for longer, then you maybe know that my Florida Beauty went downhill a little while back. A little while, I think quite some months now, but all the variegations started to look ugly, and so yeah, I took it out. Oh yeah, and it also had like a moss ball accident that I forgot. That was the first thing what happened. I think the first thing what happened was like the moss ball accident, so both of the plants got damaged. And yeah, then the variegation started to brown, and I think it mostly had to do with the fact that I had it on a moss ball and I've overwatered the moss ball, so the soil was getting too wet. So yeah, but this one, same story, like this one is also really top heavy, is almost falling over. Let me see what I'm gonna do. I'm first going to take this one out, but I must say that I have been doubting if I should put this one like on like really like the DIY moss ball again, or also just maybe like a cocoa core pole. I have one of those left. And with this one too, it also, I haven't seen actively Trips larvae on here, but this leaf clearly shows that it was dealing with some Trips larvae. I don't know if you can see like these markings on here. I find those are really like typical markings for trips larvae. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take a top cut from this one, just because I don't really like this leaf and it's been growing a little bit crooked. So I think that's the first thing which I'm gonna do, just take these plants out. I'm immediately going to take off this bottom leaf because it's looking pretty yellow. So off you go. Okay, so that's the first one. So my plan was to put both of these in here, but I do see that I really need to loosen up the soil from these root balls, because else it's not gonna fit in the new pot. I do have to check the time because I do need to pick my daughter up over 20 minutes. So yeah, you must not forget the time. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now, just like loosen up a little bit of the soil from the roots. One, it actually has quite a big root system, so really nice to see. And now for the other one, I think this one also has quite a big root system, but these roots are definitely looking more delicate than from the other one, or maybe not. This one also has quite some big roots. But I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna put it on like a DIY moss ball or not, because I'm just scared that if that happens again, that like the substrate gets so wet and that the variegation turns brown. I think that's just so sad. If that happens with variegated plants, then I'm just getting over it really quickly. So yeah, maybe I should put it on like a cocoa core, so I at least don't have to worry about that if I do overwater the moss ball. Okay. I think I'm not gonna reuse this soil though, because it's been, I do see some roots in there, so I'm not gonna use that part. Let me see, I'm also immediately going to cut off this top section from this one, so it's also not like in the way. Where is the new growth point? Right there. I am going to see if I can get this one to root, but I must say I have took like 3 propagations from the Florida Beauty so far, and I didn't really have luck with getting them to root. So I'm curious if this will work with me. And yeah, I also really need to keep an eye out for thrips, because there are signs that they have been on here. I wanted to use this size pot. me see. On this other one are also 2 leaves, which I don't really like. Like this is the plant in total. This is the new leaf, but it does has like this leaf and this leaf, just 2 green ones. So what I'm gonna do, I'm also going to chop those ones off. Yeah, these 2. So. So I also can get a better view of how I want to position them in here. Yeah. The Florida Beauty is always so weird with the way it grows. Like it doesn't really necessarily go towards the light, like the leaves are just going whichever direction they want to grow. But if I do want to put it on a moss ball, then I do need to be aware that I kind of need to position them in a way that's I don't want to go a size bigger, because then I need to go with a size where I also put the Thai constellation in, and I think that's just way too big. I'm gonna take quickly a moss ball. Okay, so for this one, I think I am gonna go with this cocoa purple though, because like the DIY moss ball also takes up, yeah, that can't fit in there. Then I really have to go a size up. I think this will be better, just a cocoa purple, so I also don't need to worry about watering an extra moss ball plus overwatering it. Yeah, I think this will be the best decision to do. Put a layer on the bottom. Okay, let's see. For positioning the plants, I think I first need to go with the one which has the most roots. The main reason why I was thinking about putting it on a moss ball again is because this is a plant which I really adore and would really like to see mature. But yeah, I think I don't need to worry that much about how it is hitting the pole. It's more that the stake in here is to at least create a little bit of stability for the plants to grow. Yes, I think this is it. Maybe turn it a little bit to the side. Yeah, I'm fine with how this is looking. Okay, so the last bit of soil. I've been really thinking so much about like the plants that I do have on moss balls, and 2 of the plants and 2 more plant propagations, which I'm also considering, like, am I gonna put it on a moss ball or like a cocoa purple, like, because like climbing plants really do need some support, right? You only have like the added benefits from the moss balls, like that they can root like into there. You cannot have that with these balls. But yeah, there are definitely quite some downsides about growing on moss balls. I have been thinking about like making a separate video about it, like what I think are like downsides of growing on moss balls. And yeah, there are definitely some, so yeah, I'm curious how I will like this like cocoa purples. I only have like my big Monstera on there, and so far so good. I do notice that that one is like really pulling on the on the pole now. You can also see it on this one. So I do really want to have it so really pushing it down over here. Not on where the roots are because I don't want to like squish them. So, last little scoop. So for this one, the same story, also going to give this one a nice shower and really going to do a good investigation on it to see if there are any thrips larvae on it, because like I said, there are so many plants which I've noticed like thrip larvae on and like thrip teenagers, like not full-blown adults. I haven't spotted those in my collection, but definitely larvae, and I call them the teenagers because they're like really in between the stage of larvae and adults. There's also one leaf here which I maybe think about chopping because I also don't really like how that's one looking. But the finished results, as you can see, it's kind of going almost 360 degrees. So yeah, that's really something like if you're going to put like plants on moss balls or something like that, then it is really nice to start them on there like when they're just like a one leaf propagation or like maybe 2 leaves. Because yeah, it's already has like a mind on its own now. But yeah, I'm curious how it is going to grow right now. It's all going a little bit more centered over here instead of like growing all the way. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Florida beauties are just like growing whichever way they want to. So yeah, happy. Quick look. Like it's giving some really beautiful variegation again. Like as you can see here, some nice variegation. This leaf too. This leaf not that much, but so yeah, that was it for these repots. Like I do still need to do 2 small ones, but I am gonna do those ones like a little bit later today because I really need to pick up my daughter now. Yes, I have 10 minutes left to get there. Well, they are always a little bit later than what they say. And cleaning up this mess because I made a little bit of a mess. So yeah, I will be back later today to finish the 2 small ones. It are 2 Alocasias, 2 variegated Alocasias. And yeah, I'm really curious if there are also going to be some corms, because I think with one I did saw like a teeny tiny corm, so we'll see how that goes. It's now beginning of the evening, the sun is starting to settle, so I want to finish up these 2 repots from the Alocasias. So these are it. This is the Alocasia bambino variegated and this is the Bali. Yeah, like this it doesn't really look that variegated, but it does have a beautiful half moon leaf over here, which I really adore. With the poly, I really had the feeling that it was starting to revert because I think it gave 3 leaves without any variegation, and then came the half moon, and I was like, hey, still some variegation left in there. So I'm gonna start off with the poly. I'm just gonna go one size bigger than what it was in. So let me see. I did forgot a container where I'm gonna put under here. So a little container to have underneath here. So I'm just gonna take it out of. Oh, I do feel definitely some resistance. So the question, are there any corms? Yes or no? Yes! There's already one. That's cool. This is the poly. So that over there. There's also like a teeny one growing over here. I'll show it later on, but I will just keep that for what it is. Another corm. Oh, I always find that so unbelievably satisfying from repotting Alocasias. The corm hunting. I think I'm not gonna lose it up completely, but where I do see a corm, I do want to take it out. It's another little thought that this one was already pretty dry, but not as much as I thought it was. I do see a corm over here, like actually a really big corm, but it's like covered with roots. Do you see the corm hiding over there? Let me see if I can get this one out. I did get some corms before from the poly, I think 3 corms. And those are all growing right now. One has variegation and... no, 2 have variegation and 1 not. I did poke some roots to get the corm out, but it's quite a big one. Not on my face, come on, I'll focus on the corm. Yeah, it wants to focus a bit. Quite a big corm. Am I gonna check in it any further, or am I just gonna leave it for what it is now? Huh? Oh, I just see another one. Oh, so satisfying. Another one. Oh, is this also corm? No, that's just the stem. Okay, so I definitely think that's it for regarding the corms. It's a piece of wood which I'm just gonna pluck off. So there's like 1, 2 really small ones. Like, there's one over there. I'm just gonna keep it for what it is. So the bigger container, maybe a little bit more. I was doubting when I was making this mix to add a little bit more cocoa peats. And now I'm like, maybe I should have done, but at the same time I'm also like, it's a variegated plant, and with variegated plants I do like to keep it, the soil like really not that water retentive. So I think it will be fine. Then I maybe need to water it a little bit more often, but then I definitely do risk less the chance that it's going to start browning. So I think this is a nice size up though. I definitely didn't want to go any bigger than this. So it is a little bit sad that like the pretty leaf is on the other side than the other. But beautiful. Hoofman. So that's the first one. I'm quickly going to put it to the side. So now we're going to do the last one, the Bambino. I'm really curious if this one would have some corms, because so far I haven't had any corms from this one. I've repotted it one time before this. Or was that maybe just from like when I got it and put it in here? I think I haven't even repotted this one. No, this is going to be the first repot for the Bambino. This one is actually still pretty wet soil. Well, I don't see any signs of corms in here. I don't think this one has any corms. Gonna take it off like a little bit, not too crazy. Or maybe I do. No, it definitely doesn't have any corms. Nope. No corms for the Bambino, like not even a sign. Like not even a sign that it's growing like a little one. It's just all woods. Okay, Here it is. So for this one, also a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Maybe angle it up a little bit. No, I think I could actually maybe have placed it a little bit deeper. I think the stem is still like sticking out quite a bit. But for now it's fine in here. One more. So, this one is always a little bit mixed in what it gives. Sometimes it gives like just fully green leaves, and one of the latest leaf, yeah, the latest leaf is just like completely just green, but like over here is also a really beautiful leaf, almost fully variegated. Here, two fully variegated leaves. So yeah, I am gonna water these afterwards, but I think I kind of have almost all of my repots done. But there are still some plants which I'm maybe doubting if I still should repot them, like before we are really going to enter the colder seasons. Both one of my Monstera Albo and my Big Thai constellation. Yeah, I think my Big Thai constellation really could handle a repot. And I still also need to put my Philodendron lupinum and Philodendron sodovoy. I have some propagations from those, so those are really rooted really well. So I kind of do want to put them up, and yeah, I'm just not sure if I'm gonna put them on a moss pole or a different pole. Like from the lupinum was really my goal to have it like growing to maturity. So regarding that, I'm thinking that I'm gonna place it on a moss pole again, like the DIY moss pole. Because yeah, that is still kind of like a plenty goal of mine, to get the lupinum to mature. But it's really like a hardy plant though. A hardy plant? Yeah, a hard plant. Not hardy in the sense that it can withstand a lot, but just hardy in the sense that it's just a hard plant to grow and mature. So yeah, that was it for this repot video. I must say that the sun is really starting to be up. I've looked in the sun and now I don't see anything on the viewfinder anymore. Okay, the sun is going behind the clouds a little bit again, but yeah, I don't know where I was left, but I do at least have 4 corms from the poly. So I'm gonna put those ones in my little fluval pop box and see if they grow quickly or not, or even grow. My camera also overheated, but I think I was left with wrapping up this video. So if you made it to the end, I want to say a big thank you for watching, and if you do have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments. I hope you're having a great day furthermore, and I hope to see you in my next video.